The alphabet people are back, and it's not just these that they're throwing in your face today. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the Bit of Truth for a Monday. Hope you guys had a lovely weekend and you avoided things thrown at you by the alphabet people. Young children were showered with tampons by a non-binary performer at a drag queen show during an LGBT Pride event.
What the fuck?
Now, before we even start with the tumultuous tampon thrower, what is a Pride family event? Why do we feel the need to get kids involved? From things like this to full frontal nudity and worse, how is this child friendly? So let's break this one down like the walls of a bonus hole at that special monthly time. So a self-proclaimed non-binary alien, which doesn't make any sense at all, thought it was extremely prideful to pretend to menstruate on stage and then throw tampons at children. Oh yes, I'm sure you're very proud. Why has Pride now become an excuse to do whatever you want? Is the meaning of Pride, which has a whole month, yet events are still running months and months after, is it an excuse to throw your balls or whatever you have in people's faces? Nobody cares about who you love or what you do or who you are. Just do you. Anyway, we've got a post here. I don't really have time to break it all down, but feel free to pause and take a look at this on your own accord. It seems like the audience wasn't very happy with this either. And it also seems that if you disagree with whatever's happening, you're going to be labelled one of those ists.
You really think I give a shit?
And to show how broken the community is, let's take a look at the owls. You know, the owls who hate the T's, who dislike the G's, who have no idea why even the rest of the alphabet people are in the same category as them. This is all rather exhausting. Anyway, a lesbian speed dating event sparks a transphobic row. Yes, that's right, a speed dating event for bonus hole holders who, like other bonus hole holders, has come under fire for insisting that only adult human male... See, I'm confused. For insisting that only adult human females can attend. Well done to this woman whose trousers are so tight we can see her lunch. She said she's done this for the protection of the females that want to attend the event. Anyway, previously she got frustrated when a trans person came into the women's toilets and pushed their body at another woman. This woman was so furious and so traumatized by this whole experience, rightly so, that it invoked this new ban.
Foul! No, 2 fouls!
Anyway, speaking of females and ladies' toilets, it seems like businesses are finally catching on. Yes, they're finally putting in place something which has always been in place since the invention of the shitter. Female toilets will be guaranteed in new buildings amid the woke rise of the gender-neutral loo. I don't really feel the need to celebrate something here for something that should have never have changed. Anyway, all new public and private buildings like offices must offer separate male and female toilets or a self-contained private one. I find this very simple. If you have an outie, you use the men's. If you have an innie, you use the females. And if you're not sure which one you have, you use the one labelled other.
Write that down.
Anyway, speaking of holes, the UK spends the least out of 13 nations on repairing roads blighted by potholes. Yes, potholes are now so big I'm actually reporting to you live from one now. Yes, there's so many potholes around now, kids no longer have to go to the skate park. I actually saw Tony Hawk hitting a 900 in one earlier this morning. I suppose we all should look on the bright side for this. I mean, families will no longer have to spend hundreds of pounds every month to go visit the swimming pools. You just need to wait for it to rain. And to be honest, judging by our lovely climate, you shouldn't be waiting long before you can go play water polo outside of your house. I'm pretty sure last week I saw the Team GB synchronised swimmers doing a warm-up for their practice just a few streets over. Well, it's no wonder why the UK doesn't have any budget to fix these potholes when the NHS has spent over £4 million paying property taxes for empty buildings over the last 3 years. Yes, well done again to the NHS. What a business you have to spend £4 million on empty buildings whilst we're in a cost of living crisis. You know, at the same time we have a 25-year high on homeless Brits. On top of costing £1 billion for not turning up to your jobs, spending £2 billion on clinical negligence, 40 million on diversity officers, 74 million on over-the-counter meds, 220 million on overpriced fuel, and 45 million on changing email addresses. Ugh. It's no wonder why we are completely screwed.
That's a damn shame.
So good luck to the people of Wales and Scotland especially. Desperate patients waiting for treatment in Scotland and Wales will now be referred to England for care. Well done again to the government. Let's take Wales, who have a population of 3 million, and Scotland, who have a population of 5.5 million, and just throw them into the mix of England's 56 million population and see if they can find an appointment here. Maybe if you hired proper business people to run what is effectively one of the biggest businesses in the UK, all paid by us, and ran it as such, you might have some money to bring down the record waiting lists.
That's a very pretty point.
Now let's carry on with money and see how the cost of living crisis is affecting the average man, woman, or other. A man has come up with a very bright idea to escape the cost of living crisis by going on an all-inclusive 3-year cruise costing £180,000. Yes, this makes complete sense. Yes, making enough that you can spend £60,000 a year over the next 3 years to go on a worldwide jolly on a boat whilst complaining about the cost of living crisis. He says he can live at sea for 3 years for the same price that it would cost him to live at home. Where are you living? Buckingham Palace? I know things are expensive, but it doesn't cost £60,000 to live. Most people don't even earn anywhere near that. He also says that doing a trip to Antarctica would cost thousands on its own. What a bargain.
It's a deal. It's a steal. It's sale of the fucking century.
Speaking of bargains, a man has bought the most expensive beer ever. A man accidentally spends £55,000 on a single pint of beer. So this guy orders a pint of beer at a hotel, expecting it to cost no more than a couple of quid. A couple of quid? That's a joke in itself. Anyway, after paying for his beer, the bar staff started giggling, where he knew something was wrong. Good for this man who's got enough money for his card to accept a £55,000 purchase. If it was my card, the bar staff would not be giggling. My card would spontaneously combust in fits of laughter at the very thought of it.
Here's my card.
The Royal Duchess of Shithousery, that Meghan Markle, who is not only one of the unhappiest millionaires in the world, but apparently also one of the most stressed. She's been spotted wearing a £1,000 a year stress relief patch. If I could afford these, I would stick them over every single part of my body after reading stories like this. I got an idea, maybe Meghan, just stick them over yours and Harry's mouths. I think they might be a little bit more effective.
Now that's a bright idea.
Right, so what have we learnt today? The LGBT the alphabet people community is still broken. Women can finally use their own toilets. There are more potholes than actual road. People have more money than sense. And the world is still spinning. Thank you, signing out.